Hello, everybody, and welcome to the post-match podcast, live from Anfield with me, Theo Squires, brought to you by the Liverpool Echo in association with our sponsors, NordVPN. Liverpool have won again. They've beaten Real Madrid, and you can't say they didn't deserve it. A superb performance from the Reds. Alexis McAllister's headed goal is the difference here at Anfield, but in truth, if it weren't for Thibaut Courtois and the Real Madrid goal, it could have been so many more. Liverpool's winner comes early in the second half, a Dominic Szoboszlai free kick. McAllister gets in front of his man, and it's a really emphatic header past the Belgian goalkeeper. A really good goal from him on a really good performance from McAllister. Today and the weekend is certainly a lot more like it from him. Hadn't had the best start of the season, had he, after that long-term injury. Took time to get back up to speed. But yeah, Alexis McAllister is back in fine form. But it could have been so much more. We saw Dominic Szoboszlai sting Courtois' gloves 2 or 3 times. Had a great chance from close range, put on a plate for him from Florian Wirtz, and he doesn't actually do anything wrong. Tries to flick it over the keeper, but it's a really good save from Courtois, and that was the first of many. He denies Szoboszlai a number of times from distance, tips over an Ekitike header, keeps out a Van Dijk header, keeps out a Szoboszlai free kick. Cody Gakpo at the end on as a substitute, denied by him for a point-blank range as well. So many good openings for Liverpool. And it's the story we've had in recent weeks, isn't it, where they create a lot and it doesn't quite happen in front of goal. But they've made a piece count. They've scored a header off a free kick. A really good goal from Alexis McAllister, and it's a deserved win. Ashley didn't have too much to do in the Liverpool goal. A couple of saves from Jude Bellingham. No, that was about it, really. Liverpool were in control. But the big talking points. Conor Bradley, absolutely superb. What a performance from the Northern Ireland international. Brilliant down that right-hand side. Completely pocketed Vinny Jr. time and time again. The crowd rightly singing his name from start to finish. Initially, it might have been a little bit of a dig at a certain former Liverpool vice-captain you might have heard of who's played for Real Madrid tonight. But in the end, it was fully justified, all about Conor Bradley. On the opposing flank, Andy Robertson, another brilliant performance from him. Stunning at left-back, he really rolled back the years. Fully deserving to be the first-choice Liverpool left-back once again. He's had to wait for his opportunity, hasn't he, to get back in ahead of Milos Kerkez. But it's not come a moment too late. Brilliant from him again. He's aging like a fine wine if he keeps this up. We go into midfield. Szoboszlai, obviously he's had a lot of chances here. He's unlucky not to score, but he was brilliant again as the number 10. Really good performance from him. And Florian Wirtz impressed as well. He got the nod on the left wing ahead of Cody Gakpo, with Ekitike starting up front. Showed some really nice touches. He was inverted quite a bit going into that number 10 role. It's maybe something we saw Liverpool try and do against Crystal Palace in the away game at the end of September. That didn't quite work, but it was a lot more effective today. So yeah, a really good performance from Liverpool in general. They get the 1-0 win. If we look at the stats, I'm going to say it'll be pretty one-sided. It should have been more than one. They were unlucky not to score more. They didn't have the possession, but they had the chances. Like Real Madrid had 61% possession, but only 8 shots, 2 on target. Liverpool had 17 shots, 9 on target, with a 2.58 XG. Real Madrid's XG was only 0.45. Courtois had to make 8 saves. Ashley only made 2. So yeah, Liverpool, if you look at it and break it down like that, by far the better team. They might not have had possession, but they didn't need to. They frustrated Real Madrid, limited their opportunities, and they threatened the goal time and time and time again. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, so get your comments in. We always like to engage with you guys here on the post-match podcast and on the Blood Red podcast. And we'll go through some of them now. Leo in here goes, I asked if you thought Wirtz should play on the left a month ago. You disagreed. Any change? It allows a proper midfield. Now, Liverpool's setup is quite fluid when he is on the left. So I think it's kind of like how they played against Frankfurt when they went, that 4-4-2, when Wirtz was on the right, and then he tucks in as a number 10 when they've got the ball. It was similar to that tonight with Salah being a bit more central, but it wasn't a front two. So it sometimes emerged into this diamond setup where Salah was up with Ekitike, Wirtz would go in as number 10. But then there are other times where Wirtz would flit in, and it changes again. It's just how they merge it around. You've got Andy Robertson going out wide, providing the width. Maybe it's total football, as it is a Dutch head coach, isn't it? So it's very fluid. I still rather see Florian Wirtz play as a number 10. In the long term, I think that'll be his position. But he's still adjusting to Liverpool's setup. He's still adjusting to English football. Granted, this is a Champions League night, so he gets a bit more time on the ball, a bit more protection from the referees. It's not quite as quick. But yeah, it's a very fluid setup from Liverpool when you've got Florian Wirtz in that roll out wide, because you still want him in those central positions. And you've got Szoboszlai there who provides legs who can go out wide and fill the space as well. So it's all about pass and move, linking up well. There's some really nice pass and move, some really nice link up play. He linked up really well with Hugo Ekitike a few times as well. So I don't think it's as easy as saying Florian Wirtz left wing, let's play him there. but I do think it's something that can be worked on as an option, as an alternative to Cody Gakpo, but it's a lot more fluid. And if it works for Liverpool, brilliant. But there are going to be times when you need the more directness style of Cody Gakpo, because you can't deny when he cuts in on that left foot, goes for a goal, things happen. They're both very different players, very good players, offer very good things for Liverpool, very different things for Liverpool. Long may it continue. Steve says, we look super balanced tonight. That's his best showing to date. Robertson winding back the years. Szoboszlai needs a contract. Solid centre-back partnership. Are the wheels back on now? Now let's give a shout-out to the centre-backs. Ibrahim Konate, I thought, was brilliant tonight as well. We know he's not had the best season at times. He can be very inconsistent. We know about the uncertainty with his future. He's out of contract at the end of the season. Real Madrid are possible suitors. He could follow in Trent's footsteps and go on a Bosman transfer. Nothing resolved on that contract yet. But he won absolutely everything tonight. He was immense at the back. He's carrying it forward as well. Really good to see from him. I remember he was brilliant against Real Madrid last year as well, and then he got the injury right at the end of the game. Touchwood, nothing like that today, but yeah, really good showing from him. And Szoboszlai needing a new contract? Agreed. We've seen reports that he's... that Liverpool want to offer him one, that they want to offer Gravenberch one as well. Both very young still, aren't they? Maybe Alexis McAllister should be in the conversation for one as well. He really was good tonight as well. If you can hear crowds cries from young fans at the moment, it's because Virgil van Dijk has just finished on Amazon Prime. Warm embrace with Daniel Sturridge, Robbie Fowler. He even had a nice little chat with Wayne Rooney. We know they've had crosswords in the media, haven't they, in the last few days, but they seem to have made amends from what I can see looking down in that corner now. Virgil van Dijk just going down the tunnel after completing his media duties. He'll be speaking to Paul Gorst and the rest of the national patch in a short while, really, because he stops at the mix zone after every game, so we should hear from Virgil van Dijk and have some quotes on the Echo website from him tomorrow. More comments now. Florian, who's a long-term listener, long-term viewer, says get in. Tommy says up the Reds, get in. Comment from Paul Lee, who just agrees with the fullbacks being brilliant. Connor Bradley and Robertson, they've got to play the majority of the games now. Fingers crossed they stay fit. Outstanding all evening. Certainly makes a difference having that stability in the defence when you've had a back four that have played together, trained together for a number of years, even in front of a new goalkeeper. So hopefully they can stay fit. Connor Bradley has had his issues before. Andy Robertson's not been the most consistent over the last couple of seasons, but he looks like he's got the bit of teeth this season again. So long may that continue. Florian says Bradley pocketed Vinicius and made him look like a senior. Oh, very good. I understand that joke. Very good, very good. Keep him coming. What a night for Salah, Verts and Bradley, says Shukri. Courtois is unbelievable, says Paulie. What a keeper. Yes, he is, but so's Alisson Becker. No discredit to Mohamed Ashley. You're a good game as well. But they're probably the two best goalkeepers in the world, aren't they? Alisson Becker and Thibaut Courtois. None of this Emiliano Martinez rubbish that we hear every so often, especially after his mistake at the weekend. You did fear at one point it was going to be another one of those nights against Real Madrid where Courtois makes save after save after save after save after save. I was getting flashbacks to Paris and that worldie he put onto the post from Sadio Mane. And there's so many good saves from the Belgian tonight, but he could do nothing about that Alexis McAllister header. What a goal from the Argentinian, and it's got Liverpool a deserved win. Going through a few more of your comments now. Real Madrid trained in private and got beaten in public, says Arthur. We are a team of champions, said Precious. What a night, says Bradley was sensational, says Arthur. He also says, we'll do it again at the Etihad on Sunday. Fingers crossed. Be interesting to see if Arne Slot brings Cody Gakpo back to that side, or if he goes for an unchanged 11. Last year at the Etihad, we saw him go for the box midfield, so maybe Ekitike drops out. There's a few options there. But if you look at the Liverpool's bench tonight, two goalkeepers, Gomez, Endo, Kirkes, Chiesa, Jones, Gakpo and Ngamoa. They are a little light on bodies at the moment, though if everything goes well, we might see Alexander Isak back in the squad. We don't know just yet. Fingers crossed, though. Paul Lee says he's always called Bradley our Irish warrior. Yeah, again, he was brilliant tonight. Salah is back now, says Wishmore. Fingers crossed. He could have had a couple of assists tonight, Salah. So could have Florian Wirtz, just finishing elsewhere. Let the team down. Oh, stunning goalkeeping from Courtois, as we have said. Florian wants to see Wirtz on the left for the foreseeable future. The balance of midfield with the last three is prime. It's made such a difference having those three back together on form, isn't it? Szoboszlai at 10, Gravenberch and McAllister. Long may that continue. It wasn't working when McAllister wasn't at his best, when he was still trying to get up to speed after injury. But now the three of them, you can see why Liverpool won the Premier League with that engine room. What a trio. Long may it continue. Where are you guys watching from? We've had a few comments from Zimbabwe. couple from Zimbabwe. What time is it in Zimbabwe at the moment? It is 10:20 over here in the UK, and it's very wet here at Anfield. My screen is covered in drops, raindrops that is. Paul Lee says it sounded loud on the old TV. What was the atmosphere like? The atmosphere was brilliant. Liverpool fans were great from start to finish, chanting Conor Bradley's name and Andy Robertson's name before kick-off. Steven Gerrard's got a few chances as well, I'm sure you guys would have heard. And this is all because of a certain former Liverpool vice-captain, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was on the bench for Real Madrid tonight. His name was booed when it was read out. When he came out to warm up, he was booed. He responded with a little bit of a smirk and a chuckle with his teammates. He comes on as a late substitute. He's booed. Every touch, he's booed. And then there's more chance for Conor Bradley, Steven Gerrard, and Andy Robertson. It was a big part of the atmosphere, but it wasn't the only part of the atmosphere. Like, Liverpool fans really got behind their team, and when they get the goal, you hear, "We've conquered all Europe, never going to stop." It felt like another proper Anfield European night, as much as you can have an Anfield proper European night in a league phase. Like we saw last year, you can beat Real Madrid now, and it means absolutely nothing if you don't go past the knockout stages. So it's about following through on this. We'll have a look at the league table in a little bit, because that should see Liverpool overtake Real Madrid, shouldn't it, in the table? Yeah, oh no, perhaps not. Goal difference is still in Real Madrid's favour, but they are level on points now. Liverpool are 6th in the table, Real Madrid are 5th, PSG 3rd because they lost tonight to Bayern Munich, Inter Milan 4th, they've got a game in hand. Bayern and Arsenal 1st and 2nd with 100% winning records. Tottenham 7th on 8 points, a point behind Liverpool. Borussia Dortmund 8th with 7 points, but they've got a game in hand, as do Man City. As do Newcastle, as do Barcelona, as do Chelsea. So those three could all knock Liverpool out of the top 8, depending on their results on Wednesday night. So could Qarabag, so could Galatasaray. But yes, so far so good for Liverpool. They've beaten one of the biggest names in European football, got a really deserved 1-0 win and sent out a statement after what has been a difficult few weeks, as we all know. But now it's back-to-back wins. Funny how the narrative can change, can't it? And going back to your question, Paul, about the atmosphere, some very, very, very loud chants for Arne Slot as well. We know there's a bit of social media talk and fans turning against him, but never the case here at Anfield. Liverpool supporters fully behind the manager, and a really good performance, and it shows they turn the corner. But you can't get too carried away, because these 3 games are always going to be easier for Liverpool, in the sense that Villa play out from the back, Madrid are a ball-playing side, Man City are a ball-playing side. Easy is not the right word, but they're not a side that is just going to lump it long, look on the set pieces, look on the long balls, counter-attacks, etc. There's a bit more to it. It suits Liverpool's game more, especially with that high press. Thoko says Bradley seemed to be really hard to pass through. He won everything, didn't he? So many good sliding tackles, so many good shoulder barges. Vinicius Jr. didn't get a thing off him. Brilliant performance from Conor Bradley, and loads of you are saying that. Casey's saying it as well. Man of the match for so many people. I'll give you a little spoiler. He's probably Ian Doyle's man of the match as well. Ursima says, "Hello Theo, you enjoy the Liverpool performance. Who was your man of the match today?" Liverpool could find their way after a black September. How do you define his black lingerie? They dominated the Madrid attack. Verts and Maka get stronger every game. It was a really good performance from the Reds, as I keep saying. Brilliant from them. Deserved win, 1-0, but should have been so much more. Performance of the season so far. Man of the match for me, I'm going to go Conor Bradley. He was magnificent up against Vinny Jr. But notable shout-outs, of course, to the players we've already mentioned in Ibu Konate, Dominic Szoboszlai, and Andy Robertson. Jaden's now just thrown Florian Wirtz there. Wirtz played really well and man possessed.
Cheers, AD.
Lots more love for Conor Bradley. He can now release Vinny Jr. from his pocket, please, says Chinrem. I probably said your name wrong there, so sorry, Chinrem. Good game for the Reds tonight. About time, says Joe. Talk about my boy Conor, says Chase. He's been absolutely incredible. Single-handedly silenced Vinny Jr. Flames emojis from Lila for Conor Bradley. Yes, this is Liverpool, says Marshall. Emma is so impressed up the Reds. Phil Hull says that Trent's cross was satisfying to watch at the end. Yeah, Trent tried a few of his trademark things when he came on, like one of those diagonal ball, well, wasn't even diagonal, one of those through balls down the line, and one of his crosses to the far post. They did not go to Real Madrid players. The Anfield crowd were very happy that they did not go to Real Madrid players. They celebrated those with a few jeers. As you would expect, making Trent Alexander-Arnold very much aware of his feeling amongst them at the moment. Almost a shame he couldn't at least get a nice reception after the final whistle when you put it aside, but you can understand the Liverpool fans' feelings. He's not their player anymore. He chose to walk away on a free transfer rather than be part of this side, and it's quite fitting that his replacement at right back, Conor Bradley, was the star man, wasn't it? As we've already said, the chants for Conor Bradley at the start of the game were very much to taunt Trent. By the end, they were all about the Northern Irishman. A magnificent performance from him. Nice game. Our guys fought really hard and we got a deserved result, says Odrid. Chase says, talk about Connor, that boy is a secret weapon. Jackson says, after all those saves, Courtois couldn't stop the shortest guy on the pitch from heading one in. Guess even in football, height doesn't always win. All this talk about set pieces, and it's quite fitting that Liverpool won one with a header off a free kick again, and that's something Arnold would have been taken if he was still at Liverpool. He was the free kick taker, but it's something that Szoboszlai has taken off him, hasn't it? Or inherited off him, and it's got Liverpool the win today. Trent will be regretting, says George. Only he can answer that. Saint to the Max says Conor Bradley deserves a big win. Ishraq says the balance looked great today. It did. It was a brilliant performance. Robert East says amazing performance. Farhan's tuning in from Kenya. Hi Farhan. Virgil just owned Rooney on the interview, says LFC Klopp. I have to take your word for it. I'll wait for one of the guys back on the desk to turn that around so I can read the quotes. Unless the interview itself goes viral on social media, we'll have to have a look out for that. Paulie's just saying hi to you guys tuning in from Zimbabwe. Hi guys, I agree with Paul. Hello. Robbie is watching from Australia. Maranak is watching from Cyprus. Akin from Nigeria. Yul from South Sudan. Phil Holes from Michigan in the United States. You guys are up all over the place, aren't you? Some time difference here. Though Phil Holes probably quite nice today. Is it early afternoon? Ishraq asked for my thought on Trent's reception. I can understand it. He did a lot for Liverpool. He's a Liverpool legend. He's won absolutely everything with his club. He's a boyhood Liverpool fan. I would have been nice if the final whistle you can put it to a side and he could go and have a moment with the cop. I understand why that isn't possible. I can understand why they want to boo him during the 90 minutes, and I think it's back to when Luis Suarez got booed when he came back with Barcelona. You want to get in his head, you want to intimidate him, you want to try and get under his skin and give Liverpool advantage, and they've certainly done that. But with Trent, there is a little bit more spikiness there. Maybe that will heal in time. We've seen stuff heal in time with, Fernando Torres healed in time, didn't it, after a few years. So maybe Trent can come back with a happier reception one day. But at the moment, it is a bit spiky. It's 6 a.m. here in Malaysia, says Nabil. To stay awake for the mentions, I'm here to listen to the match report before dropping my daughter to kindergarten. I hope it was you enjoyed it, Nabil. Hopefully your daughter's a Liverpool fan as well, and she's going to have a very nice day in kindergarten after that win. Watching from New Zealand, says Steve. Gosh, you guys are tuning in from all over the world, aren't you? Dennis is from Ghana. Yui says he wants to watch from Anfield one day. Fingers crossed for you, Yui, one day. It was magnificent being here tonight. Stunning performance and a stunning atmosphere. Mark Walker is cheering on from Ohio. Collins just says, what a win. Bradley, man of the match. Great win, says Dramani. More love for Conor Bradley from Brave. Good game for the Reds. Codswell says Bradley to the world. Paulie says Salah was more involved tonight. Can't put my finger on why. Any theory on why he looks lively tonight? He looked livelier at the weekend as well. I think part of it's the tactical setup. So when Florian Wirtz is number 10, he wants to be in those spaces, he wants to be in those pockets. When Hugo Ekitike's the striker, he comes deep, he wants to be in that same space. And when you've got Mohamed Salah on the right, he wants to cut in and he wants to go in that same space as well. But when you've got Dominic Szoboszlai there, he's this runner. So say Ekitike comes deep, Szoboszlai will run beyond him, he'll go into that gap, he leaves. If Salah's wants to come inside, Szoboszlai will overlap and he'll go on the right. So because he's more of a runner, he's got more of an engine, he'll fill those spaces. It creates the space for Salah to fill. So I think that's partly why he looks lively, or livelier. And it also helps that he's played with Szoboszlai at number 10 for a couple of years, or in midfield for a couple of years. Had him on that right-hand side when it was a 3 under Jurgen Klopp. And he's had Conor Bradley at right back for a number of seasons as well. Granted, not as first choice. It's not the same with, say, Jeremy Frimpong. It's not the same with Florian Wirtz in there when they're still adjusting. And he's had to adjust with Hugo Ekitike as well. So I think just that little bit of stability and consistency is helping Mohamed Salah. But also he scored a couple of goals, hasn't he? So that confidence is going to be up as well. He's saying this now in hindsight, but Bradley and Robert give a better overall balance to the team, says Ishraq. Needed both the fullbacks to be bedded in slow. Well, this is something we saw countless times under Jurgen Klopp, wasn't it? New signings come in, taking their time to settle. Fabinho, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Ryan Gravenberch, Andy Robertson himself. It's not a bad thing to give them time and let them gel quietly behind the scenes. I think Liverpool's hand was stung a little bit by the injuries this year. It's not helped that some players missed a significant proportion of pre-season, that everything with Diogo Jota, so they started late. You've got all the mental turmoil there as well. It was always going to take time for Liverpool to click. You've just got to hope that these back-to-back wins is the sign of them clicking, and that is the corner turned. Joshua says, relentless back to winning ways. They'd already won, Joshua. It's back-to-back wins now. Happy days. The corner turned. Great performance, says Warari Innocent. Up Liverpool, says Say. Bradley, my man. 2 clean sheets. Yeah, let's point that out as well. 2 clean sheets with Mohamed Ashley in goal. Happy days for him. Coming along like London buses. Rampunia is watching from India. It's 4 a.m. Oh, I feel honoured for you to be watching me at 4 a.m. My missus wouldn't do that. Never mind my mum. And my mum's actually at mine at the moment as well. She's up for the week. She's not watching this. She might do later. She does watch me on Facebook every so often. So maybe she'll see this, but I don't think she'll be tuning in this late into a podcast. 22 minutes in. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Tony's watching from South Africa. TK from Zimbabwe. Sana from Liberia. Brave from Malawi. Oh, we've got another Theo in the comments. Up the Reds, Theo. Up the Reds, fellow Theo. Happy days. Australia and Cyprus. I'd love a bit of the sunshine. Oh, I would love a bit of the sunshine too, Paul. It's horrible here at Anfield. I know I can't complain because I'm here at Anfield in the press box, but it is I was about to say something rude there. It is raining a lot. I'm going to get wet. My feet are still drenched from walking to the stadium before the game. People tuning in from South Africa. Clayton's watching from Malta. This was purely a Liverpool versus Courtois encounter, and not for the first time, was it? Says George. Glad Liverpool found a way. A great game overall. And he's a Chelsea fan. Fair play, George. You know all about Courtois there. He's brilliant for them. We were saying this in the press box. He's just been around forever, hasn't he? He's always been a great goalkeeper. Watching from Malawi, says Molek. Will Mohamed stay at Liverpool or not? Why wouldn't he, Mohamed? He's under contract for another 18 months. He'll go away to AFCON in December, but no reason for him to go just yet. Got a couple of comments from Kenya, from Eddie and Coastman, just say where they're watching from. Great work from Liverpool today, says Wisdom. Bradley, what a man, I love you and all the team. I'll have work in 4 hours, but this sleepless night was worth it. From India, says AJ. I booked the day off tomorrow. I was up really early because it was my missus' graduation over in Chester. I had to be up at 6:30. I suppose I can't complain there. But yeah, it's been a long day for me. When you think I'm still going strong here at Anfield, I won't get home until after midnight. So yeah, very much a day off needed. Looking down to pitch side now, Federico Chiesa is with some friends taking in the win. Fair play to him. He did really well when he came on as well. We can say that too. It was a nice little moment where he was flicking the ball up with his just to keep it away from people. And it was cheeky from him, but it worked, and he nearly set away a Liverpool counter-attack. The only reason it didn't happen was because Mohamed Salah's ball didn't come off. But yeah, great from Federico Chiesa. Came on, went up front. A nice little cameo from him. Certainly playing his part this season. It's not bad considering he wasn't in the Champions League squad at the beginning, was he? But yeah, he's making an impact. Hopefully that can continue. Really likeable player, and that was another part of the atmosphere as well. When Chiesa comes on and you hear that chant ringing out around Anfield. What a guy, what a player. Hopefully we see plenty more of him in the weeks and months ahead. More comments. Watching from Kenya, says Aki. Watching from Mauritius, says Majo. Bradley pocketed another Real Madrid player, says Jonathan. Patrick's tuning in from Chicago and enjoyed that big win. Who else have we got? Hello, Copites, says Ibrahim. We'll never walk alone. Bradley, his man of the match. Majo says Bradley was outstanding. I'm stealing that answer about Salah. I'll amaze the wife. By all means, Paul, take it. You're allowed. I'm just glad I talked a little bit of sense. It happens occasionally. We never know. Good job, guys, says Douglas. Alamine says we need to rate Spotify more than that. New contract incoming, surely. He deserves it. He's been Liverpool's star player this season. Absolutely magnificent. Isaacs is watching from Kenya. Good evening from Liberia, says Emmanuel. Watching live from Nigeria, says Peter. No, there's a space in that. Maybe it's not Peter. Have to correct me if I'm wrong. Tommy's from Ireland. We love our Irish fans. Hi, Tommy. Watching from Ghana, says Titeria. We love all of you. I struggle with some of the names. I really am sorry. I can say Tommy's name. Irish is a lot easier for me than some of these. But yeah, great for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Metier. This is what we want to see, how hard the Anfield atmosphere is. 2 a.m. in Mauritius, says Majo, so he's happy to go to bed. You don't have to wait for me to finish, Majo. If you want, go to bed now. Liverpool, your team for 45 years. Go and enjoy a good night's sleep after another good Liverpool victory. Very balanced team tonight, says Robert. Hopefully this weekend's game against City will see another similar performance. Fingers crossed. I hope Robbo gets that new contract, says Israk. Any news on Konate's contract, though? Nothing on either of them, I'm afraid. Robbo's certainly deserving it on his current form, isn't he? Long may that continue. Granted, it's only been a couple of games, but he's, like I said, he's got the bit between his teeth again. He's making that position his own. Douglas is tuning in from Nigeria. Chris says, what a beautiful day. Mo's very impressed with impressive performances from Florian Wirtz, Szoboszlai and Connor Bradley. And Kanjani is watching from Malawi. I think we got through all your comments there, so there's time now to go through Ian Doyle's player ratings. These will be a lot nicer than a few weeks back. Connor Bradley gets a 9, dominated the tricky and controversial Vinny Jr. to such an extent, he still found time to break forward regularly. Superb showing against Real Madrid once again. Andy Robertson gets an 8, recovered from a mistake with a challenge on Gula and otherwise decent at both ends, particularly with his calm defending as Real pressed during the final quarter. An 8 from McAllister, and one of those to test Courtois before the break, and willing to get in amongst the Real Madrid midfielders. Excellent header for the opener, but had to be careful after his booking. Dominic Szoboszlai, 9. A couple of panicky passes aside, he drove forward impressively, prompted 2 good and 1 great save from Courtois before the set-piece delivery for the opener. Another superb showing. Oh, and there's a Florian Wirtz, 8 as well. Decent discipline to stay on the left and work so hard, winning back possession regularly, good passes and created chances for Szoboszlai. If you want to read Ian Doyle's full player ratings, they're on the Liverpool Echo website. I would recommend it. As I said, they're much happier than recent times. We'll also have his snap analysis, his analysis in the morning, Paul Gorst's verdict after a famous night for Liverpool, and all the reaction and all the quotes from the manager press conferences. We'll hear from Arne Slot, we'll hear from Xavi Alonso, should hear from Virgil van Dijk in the mix zone. If anyone stops as well, you guys will be the first to hear it. Maybe we'll get Alexander Isak injury update. Maybe not today. If not, it'll be at the press conference on Thursday or Friday. But yeah, really good performance from Liverpool, a deserved win. And I think that's all we've got time for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've done a good half hour or so. Thanks again for all your comments. Thanks for getting involved. Really enjoy doing these post-match podcasts with you guys. If you're listening to this and it's not live, or you can always tune in on YouTube or Facebook. We go live within like 10 minutes of the final whistle after every Liverpool home game. And it's so much nicer doing these when they win, isn't it? A couple of great wins there from Liverpool. A couple of great performances. Long may it continue. They're going into the international break a lot better than they did the last one. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back with your normal Blood Red podcast. Actually, I think Paul Gorst is doing a Blood Red podcast tomorrow. So you might get a bumper a week on Blood Red with the Blood Red podcast on Wednesday. Maybe a normal one at the end of the week looking ahead to Man City. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all your support. Until next time, thank you. Goodbye. I've been Theo Squires. What a great night to be reported on Liverpool Football Club. Long may it continue.